morning, welcome back to the show. No, Grant did not lose a few centimeters of height over the weekend. He just looks puny in front of our gigantic Hisense screen. But right now, it's time for us to check out what pics, posts, and tweets and hashtags were trending this past week with G-Funk Delicious.
Social Media Mondays, brought to you by Hisense. Hisense, life reimagined.
Thank you, Kat. Welcome to the Social Media Report. I hope you guys had a fantastic Mother's Day over the weekend. I know I did. We have a tradition in our household where we get to watch an action movie, and we watch The Dark Knight. So thank you, Mom. I had a really good time. Well, we're here back into the trending stories. This first one is absolutely brilliant. I don't know what people were thinking. A couple of guys decided to take photographs of a great white shark in a rubber duck. Now, for those of you who don't know, a rubber duck is an inflatable speedboat. You know, one you put air inside. Now, I don't think inflatable speedboats and great white sharks go together at all, but these guys sure think they do. Check this out. Oh, here we go. Apparently, everybody survived and they're all happy, but I don't know what they were thinking. Now, during a French cooking show, a cat gallops unharmed into a glass door. The video of that clip of the show has gone completely viral, and they decided to include it into the show. But that cat's got a major headache now. Check this out.
Quelle surprise la seconde boulangerie du jour réserve-t-elle à notre jury?
A cat runs into a glass door and gets the headache of its lifetime and manages to get onto the show. Shaymin, it just goes to show those moments in television which happen spontaneously are brilliant and worth keeping. Now, a professional keyboardist by the name of Henry Herbert of the Jim Jones Review puts on an impromptu performance at the St. Pancras International Station in London. It's filmed and the video went completely viral on social media, and I don't believe that it's for his talent. World-renowned artists don't seem to get recognized outside of their natural habitat, and you can imagine just being in that environment and hearing that kind of talent. So take a look and listen. I really think that Cat should do this at the Cape Town station and see if people recognize him, because he's as talented. Now, a man decides to play the piano, in another story, for an elephant, and the strangest thing happens. Check this out. Well, if you think that Cat can play as well as Jim Jones, I probably play as well as that elephant. So we'll see how that goes. I'll play that at the station. But it's amazing that elephants can even do that. It shows you how amazing animals are. He was even dancing to the music. Now, you heard all these stories here first. You can catch them all on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show. Please go like it up. Or you can follow us on Twitter at Expresso Show. Drop in to say hi. We love the messages. All the stories that you suggest often get put into this insert, so make sure that you keep an eye out for the ones that you suggest on the social media for next week, Monday. Now, if you think that music and social media are a big deal, this next video is an even bigger deal. It's a couple of women twerking to classical music?
A Korean dance group called Wavia and Classical B have created a twerking dance piece to the classical sounds of Dvorak's Symphony No. 9, Allegro con fuoco, in an effort to make classical music popular again by appealing to younger audience. During the research we conducted for the project, we discovered that there were no music videos for classical music. In the 200 years that classical music has existed, 300 years or even further back in time, no one has ever made a music video for it. We would like to change this. The request to make a music video for classical music took us completely by surprise. Today, everyone is familiar with music videos. They help you sell music. People are used to them, except that they've never seen a clip of classical music. The video has gone viral online, with some supporting it as a persuasive measure to get young people interested in the classical music genre, while others say that the video goes against the very nature of classical music and what it's all about. But for most of the 20-somethings who watched it, it has sparked an interest in the music. I found it really super. You listen to it without being aware you are listening. Some films contain classical music and you think, this is nice, I'm going to check it out. And I myself would look for this piece by Dvorak and play it in my car. I found it quite good. This is the ultimate goal, that Dvorak becomes the new Miley Cyrus or the new Rihanna with a big hit on YouTube. And this shows that art and music is something every day, by ordinary people, for ordinary people.
Oh, Miley Cyrus, what have you done to us? But you know what? I think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, imagine hearing, you know, Mozart's Fairy Lisa to some crumpy music.
Yeah, but think about it. Rihanna and Miley, they kind of put pressure on classical music because their music became, can I say it, a little bit better. So it's good that people are thinking that they can twerk to, well, classical music. Well, this time around, we're calling in the experts, literally, and we've got Hadley Titus here with us from Fine Music Radio. Hadley, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
We've got to ask you first up, your thoughts on that video. I don't know, you saw it right now.
Yes. Now, there's two questions that come with this one. The aim of the video was to make it accessible and to make classical music available to everybody. Now, has it succeeded? Let's go to the group Wavia. With one of their biggest hits was when they did their version of Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
They got 131 million hits.
Wow.
And then they did one with David Guetta called Ain't No Party, 8 million hits. This one, 7,000. So have they succeeded? Have they reached their target market? And then also, we asked the question now about, have they made classical music accessible to people?
Yeah.
Come on, we've had classical music with in films, in ads. Nessun Dorma. Any single person will know Nessun Dorma because of the soccer link with Nessun Dorma. And you have crossover artists like Catherine Jenkins, Russell Watson, millions and millions of classical artists who cross over. The other way, it's working the other way around now. Stinger's brought out a CD called Symphonicities, where he's taken his music and classicized it.
Right.
George Michael has just done a new one as well, and he's called it Symphonica.
Okay.
So I don't think that Wavia is really pushing classical music. I think Wavia is pushing Wavia.
Oh, okay. But that's the thing. You know, classical music is kind of reserved, when people think about it at least, you know, for the people in suits and ties that go to a concerto and they see that. But so how do you then make it accessible to the young people that listen to hip-hop and that see Miley Cyrus twerking?
Do you know, you think that's such a misconception that it is for people in suits. One forgets that people who, okay, if you attend a classical music concert, yes, you'll find people are probably the older generation, but remember, they are probably 60, 70, 80, but 50 years ago, when they were young, they listened to rock music, they listened to pop music.
Okay.
And would you say that all those people in the orchestras are necessarily people who know classical music or have a classical background? I don't think so. So they've learned to accept classical music, and I think a lot of youngsters, and research has now just come out that there are more youth orchestras around than ever. There are more orchestras than ever, and if you do things like Classics in the Park or the Proms concert, they are completely full with people of all generations.
That's true.
So no, I don't think classical music is in that. That's a perception, and I'm from Fine Music Radio, but we are housed in the Artscape Theatre Centre, where the Cape Philharmonic Youth Orchestra lives.
And they are wonderful.
They are wonderful. And just remember that, I think it was a year or 2 years ago, the Cape Philharmonic Youth Orchestra provided the music for the Fashion Week. So there was a youth orchestra providing music for Fashion Week. And no, I don't think it is really boxed in. That's just a perception.
So a question, last one. Do you think that the twerking is making classical music famous? Because it caught my attention.
No, classical music's been going for 400 or 500 years already. I
right.
think there's a new lot of people that have been watching classical music, but if you turn off that video, are they going to remember Dvorak's Ninth Symphony, or are they going to remember the outfits, the twerking? I think they're gonna
True,
remember
because
the
personally I remember the twerking more.
Exactly,
I'm not even
exactly.
going to be trying to be fancy about it. So I don't know, maybe it didn't really reach its target. But thank you very much, Hadi.
Thanks
Much
so much for
appreciated.
joining us.
Nice to
Tuning
be
into
here.
Fun Music Radio. But right now we're going to take a very quick break. We'll be right back on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.